everybody, I thought I'd make a video today about the topic of detachment and attachment. So I've received questions about, is non-duality detachment from what is? And no, it's not detachment from what is. Non-duality is just what is, just realizing the direct experience with what is without there being a person here experiencing it. It's just all happening and everything is one. So you see um, through what the illusion is that you are a separate somebody. You're just actually everything in a separate form right now, but in turn, you're really everything. And so that is what non duality is. But when it comes to detachment or attachment, that is something that maybe after you've had this seeing, awakening, shift, whatever it is you want to label that, um, you realize that you don't need to attach to anything and you don't need to detach from anything. Everything is okay. And essentially, you realize you are already part of everything, so you don't have to like hoard everything up and attach to it and keep it and feel like you can never let go of it because you realize it's free, it's yours, it's whatever it is yours, so you become very abundant. And in turn, like the detachment side of it, you are in some ways detached from everything, just in the sense that you realize that you aren't, this is all an illusion, and you aren't, the owner of this or that, or you realize everything's changing. You realize that whatever is here is always here and not always here. It's just a paradox in a way. So you really can't be detached or attached to anything just in general when you've had this realization, because you don't have the need to do either of those. Everything is already here. Everything is already you, and your whole world expands. So there's no more detachment or attachment. But I do see, people wanting to kind of suggest that this is something you see, you have this realization or a glimpse or something like that, and then you need to start detaching from everything. You really don't have to do anything. You just live life as it arises, um, without the thought of attachment or detachment. If you want to like micro analyze what's happening in life, you may start to notice, hey, I'm not so much attached to these things anymore because I've had this realization, and that might be the case. Or it might be the opposite. I've also experienced, oh, I'm everything and I love this and I want to attach more to this because I love this experience of life. So I become even more attached to those things that I love, maybe more than other things. Of course, I love everything, but, there's still preferences. I'm still obviously a human. We all are. It's not that anything really changes in our experience, that we detach from things or we strive to detach from things or even try to attach to things. Just naturally, whatever's going to unfold will unfold. So if you have this realization and you start noticing that you're detaching from things just naturally, then that's what's happening to you. And or opposite to that, if you have this realization and you realize, oh wow, I'm like attaching to everything, I love everything so much, I just want to be with this all the time, and I love this, that might be the case as well. So really there's no straight answer about, is non-duality attachment or detachment. It's both. It's literally just anything that's occurring with you, me, anybody. It's just what is happening. So it's not anything that we have to strive to do. If you're trying to reach this realization by detaching from things, that's not going to do that. What non-duality is already this moment, regardless of if you attach or detach from anything. Now, if we're talking about suffering, yes, if you are very, very attached to something and you lose it, you're going to suffer more than if you were not so attached to that thing. Also, if you're very, very detached from everything, you're resisting in a way what is happening because you're wanting to be more detached. So that in turn is going to cause you to suffer because you're resisting what already is. You can't resist what is. You can't resist what is already happening without there being some level of suffering. And the same thing with attachment. You can't attach and, you know, everything is always changing and dying and turning to different things. So if you're very, very attached to what is, you're also going to suffer. So you kind of want to hang out in that middle area. But for what I would like to share, in my case, I just deal with what is. If I'm naturally becoming more attached to something, that's what's happening, and I don't try to stop myself from that. If I'm becoming more detached from things, the same thing. I don't try to like, oh yeah, I should detach more, or I need to detach this thing next, or I need to detach that. There's just no need for that. Whatever happens, happens, and you know that you're abundant and you are everything, and everything is always in harmony and you're at peace, whether you're attached, detached, or even if you're suffering because you're attached or detached from something. So it's not that. Non-duality is not detachment. It's not something that you can do. You can't obtain it that way.